pound thing on sale for $20. So,
Yeah, that's not bad.
no,
You had to get your hemorrhoid cream too.
the suppository. I don't like the cream. I just like,
And I hope
why?
you
I'm not about beating around the bush. Let's get to the point. Hi, folks. Hope you guys didn't catch about the penetration of suppositories with hemorrhoids.
Oh, I made sure they got all of that.
Sweet.
That's what you
You know
said.
what? My butthole did. So, once you say it's on the internet, it's on there forever. So if you're saying this stuff, it's there.
Yeah, it
No take
happened.
backs. No take backsies.
So
Hey, Reggie, I got a
yeah,
question for you. Before we
yeah,
get started on the WrestleMania card, if an Indian gets a hand job, is it called an Indian rug burn?
it's a cultural inclusive burn now.
Fuck you and your political correctness.
A multicultural rub down.
All right. So, folks, we're here to talk about the WrestleMania 41 card.
Yes, we are.
And I got it pulled up here. The first match I see, this is on from Yahoo Sports, is the triple threat match: Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns versus CM Punk.
Yeah. I don't think this is particularly in any particular order,
No, it's not.
but
This ain't no order whatsoever.
that
I'm just gonna
alone, that alone could be the main event. So
right. I'm
uh,
not this. That could be the main event, or
oh,
the next
for my
match.
tongue.
Ooh. Uh, so as you know, there's a history between Seth and Roman. Um, and remember last year's Rollins screwed over Roman Reigns and got him back with that chair shot, right? That ultimately cost, Roman Reigns the title. And then
And
CM Punk got thrusted into it saying, I deserve to be in the main event, playing the martyr.
yeah, and then you throw in the history with both him and Roman, with their history with
So actually,
Paul Heyman.
yes.
With
So this is gonna be weird, right? Does Paul Heyman come down with Roman Reigns, or is Paul Heyman gonna go with CM Punk? Because I know I haven't been keeping up with Raw, but I did hear that Paul Heyman maybe walk with maybe with CM Punk. What's up, buddy?
CM Punk, and I guess this was the favor that uh, Heyman owes CM Punk, but he will be in CM Punk's corner.
What? I feel safe. You want Alexa to play a song? Yeah, feel safe. 1 second, Reggie. I gotta go fix Alexa.
Do your thing, buddy.
Yep, I got you, buddy. Alexa, play Beautiful Things.
What are you doing?
Okay. And I'm back, and there's an empty chair. So if you guys didn't know, also Reggie is also Houdini. Um
I'm back.
and so
I'm back. Apparently, Hulu paused and was asking Ripley if she was still there. So I had to make sure that Ripley was indeed still there.
nothing like Hulu watching your dog.
And it interrupted her King of the Hill, and she was not happy about it.
Blah, bless.
Whoa.
Blah, damn it, Bobby. Um, so actually, I think that might actually be the main event because that was what CM Punk was kind of, I'm
Yeah,
going to say, bitching about. He's never main evented WrestleMania, and I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it, but it must be a thing with him. Like he always likes to play the martyr,
yeah,
where it's like, that's how he got thrusted up there. It's like, why am I not getting the shot? I deserve it. Down me. And years back when him and Triple H were feuding, Triple H kind of put him right in his place. Like, you don't just get thrusted into the spotlight because you think you deserve it. You earn it, right?
yeah.
H. He earned it, right? And I'm not disagreeing with CM Punk. He's definitely a main eventer. Um, if I had to pick somebody to win that match, I am going to go Seth Rollins.
Going Seth.
I'm
Kate,
going Seth.
Katie would love to hear that you're picking Seth. 'Cause she loves Seth Rollins and she hates CM Punk.
Yeah, I think Roman and Seth for a split second and put their differences aside, and I think we're going to see a double power bomb done to CM Punk through the announcement table. Um,
Because Seth does not like CM Punk more than he doesn't like Roman.
right. So I think
And
that
with Heyman being in CM Punk's corner,
Roman, Roman's not liking that.
no. So you're going to see, at least for a little bit, kind of a Shield reunion again,
Right.
and then they're going to end up going at it, going at it, going at it. Um,
Um, don't mind my son singing the song.
he's singing Seth's song,
Uh, the next match. Who are you
but
picking? Sorry, I didn't ask you. Who are you going with?
yeah, I would go if I were to make the if I had to make the pick right now. I'm going to go with Seth. But I honestly can see it going any which way.
Right, with creative, like I could see, like, do they really truly give CM Punk his due and let him win a main event at WrestleMania, or do you just put him in the main event? Like, hey, here's your main event spot. You're in it. Stop your bitching, right? I mean, because
because and in my thinking, like I'm definitely thinking like all over the freaking place. Um, they're both going to look at Heyman and say, "Okay, give us a hand," and Heyman's going to walk away. Um, Seth and Roman are going to team up against CM Punk, take him out. What seems like permanently, but temporarily, they're going to start going at it. CM Punk's going to come in, roll somebody up, and take the win.
remember, it's triple threat, so there's no DQ.
Yeah,
So I mean, there could be
air
number of
shots,
back.
pipe bombs, freaking whatever.
Um,
And I could also see Heyman being so worried about his safety. He
I
called
could
it.
also see Heyman. Now, go. Don't get me wrong here. I could also see Heyman because you know how Heyman, back in the day, he screwed Brock Lesnar over facing Big Show at a WrestleMania. Or no, I think it was a Royal Rumble. Sorry, a Royal Rumble for the World Championship, and he turned on Brock. Now he may be sitting in the corner of CM Punk, but could you actually see Paul Heyman screwing CM Punk over and costing him maybe a potential victory?
I could see it because even up until
Because let's face it,
the most recent
it's
Raw I saw, he was still calling Roman his tribal chief.
right. So it'd only be fitting because Heyman, he is I would go hands down one of the best promoters, one of the best managers, right? Call it KFA. He's got the gift of gab. You can't trust him, right? He can turn on you in a split second, you know, and I don't foresee him turning on Roman for the history they've had. Now, I understand CM Punk is a Heyman guy, but he wasn't in Punk's corner uh as long as he's like been in Romans or Brock, right?
And see, that's where my initial thought was going. Brock was added back to the active roster slot. Go to the website, I believe. Halfway
Yeah,
through
I
the
saw a lot
match,
of rumors saying he's officially retired, and now if he's added to the back, could we potentially see Brock return and just cause all sorts of hell? And that's how night
that was
one
my
ends.
thinking. Like
Maybe no
there,
victor, and
somebody
then
was gonna,
Heyman,
somebody
and
was going to attack Heyman, and all of a sudden you hear, dun, dun, and all of a sudden he's hopping his, gorilla sized ass out to the ring. Just starts beating the shit out of everybody. He leaves with Heyman, and then all of a sudden it's like
And that I think that'll be a nice fitting end. Like there's no true winner. Night one ends with that. No
And
victor,
all you see is
just
everybody
complete
laying out in the middle of the ring.
chaos. Complete chaos, destruction, as Brock is known to cause, right? And I didn't even think about that because you've been paying attention to that. I know he's been added to the active roster, and I think they're just waiting. They're waiting.
And oh, and we lost Joe. And we'll be waiting. And waiting. And we're waiting. He must have got a call on his cell of phones. But yeah, that was just my thinking. That's my take. Again, no guarantees. If I could be wrong that he was added back. Um yeah, Joe picked Seth. I'm gonna go with Seth for the double pick, but again, I think it could go either way here. It's gonna be a lot of blood, a lot of cheers. Oh my. So with Joe gone, I would just like to bring up a PSA about packs of wild dogs that control most of America's major cities. This is a problem that have not been talked about enough, and that is packs of wild dogs controlling most of America's major cities. And yeah, so watch out for those stray dogs, folks. If you have room to adopt, please do. And something popped up here. Let me see. What the hell happened there?
Tiff FaceTime me, which it booted me off of your camera because that FaceTime takes the priority. So I thought answering her on my iPad, it would bring me back. But since these devices are connected, it it didn't. So I had to leave back. I had to leave the podcast and rejoin.
Oh, cool.
So I do appreciate the shout out to control the packs of wild dogs. I totally agree. And getting back, um, I'd like to talk about there's no particular order, but I want to go over the Gunther Jey Uso. I don't want to spend too much time because I think it's just going to be an onslaught of Jey Uso just getting chopped by Gunther. Um, Jey
Yeah,
Uso, um, he's getting a lot of push, right? And he's earning it, right? But I just don't think he's at the same level, and I don't think you're not gonna take the world title from Gunther with a Jey Uso. I think it deserves more of a fitting opponent, like you know, like uh, you know, like a Drew McIntyre because of the history they've had, right? I mean, nothing, no disrespect against Jey Uso, but I just don't foresee him winning against Gunther. Um,
okay. I I agree that Gunther is going to dominate, and I would say a good majority of the match. Um, where I'm leaning to Jay winning, this is this is the third match. Um, it was Gunther, and now Gunther and Jay again at WrestleMania. I could see this being the moment where Jay takes it, um, but I could also see if they have Jay lose, it's not because Jay lost. They're they're going to keep his they're going to want to keep his momentum, and like you said with Drew McIntyre, they're going to have somebody come out and attack Gunther
um,
and screw it up completely for Jay. And either way, whether Jay wins and becomes champ, Gunther's going to have his rematch clause for Backlash. Or if somebody interferes, costs Jay the match, we're going
becomes a
into
triple
Backlash, a triple
comes
threat match at
to
Backlash. And
Um,
that's where I think if they go that route where Jay loses, that's where I think he'll win because he was this close.
who did anyone cash in the Money in the Bank
Yes.
for this
Does
past Money in the Bank pay per view?
Who won the last? Like
The last Money in the Bank I remember being cashed was Damian Priest when
yeah.
he beat Drew McIntyre. That was last year's WrestleMania. So we already passed another Money in the Bank pay per view.
Who won this last Money in the Bank?
I can look that up real quick because that's I'm just kind of going. Um,
Because I remember I very clearly remember Damien cashing it.
yeah, that was last year's WrestleMania.
Yeah. Um, I don't even remember who won this past right. I don't even remember. And part of me was like, I want to say there was a cash in, but it failed.
Right now this is saying who won Money in the Bank 2024, which obviously Money in the Bank is before WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's like in the summer, ain't it?
Drew McIntyre.
He cashed in, and CM Punk cost him. Remember? And he immediately lost. He cashed it in against Damien and won, but it was very, very brief. And that's when Gunther became champion. That's how Gunther became champion.
Is he beat?
He cashed in against in that Damian Priest Gunther match,
Hmm.
and then it I'm trying to remember. It was so long and it was so brief. I don't even remember exactly what happened because that's what
You're right. Yes, Drew McIntyre did cash his Money in the Bank contract at Money in the Bank. He ran into the ring, cashed in during the match between Seth Rollins and Damian Priest. However, his cash in was disrupted by CM Punk, who had been feuding with McIntyre. So that was
that was his cash in.
he won and cashed in later that night.
Yeah, and since he had already cashed in and it failed, it's done.
What, Mav? Okay, I'm proud of you. So okay, so there goes that little plan.
Yeah, that was. But yeah, it's just a matter of like if somebody interferes, who is it gonna be?
Right. But I can still see like, Drew McIntyre, he's got a match night two.
Yeah,
So
the
it's in
only
the
thing is
realm.
the
It's in the
only
realm
thing
of
is
him interfering.
the only thing is Drew's on SmackDown, and he's on SmackDown now, and it would theoretically it would have to be somebody from Raw.
Well, WrestleMania, anything can happen.
Yeah, that's true.
Um,
Um,
Next match.
what I could see if somebody interferes is going to be Solo, possibly. The new
Oh, screwing
bloodline,
Jay over, yeah.
and then
Or I could see Jimmy coming to help his brother, even
and it's
though they
fucking
are
up,
kind of feuding right now. Like,
and then it's screwing up and costing Jack.
it could, yeah. I mean, like you've seen it before too, where someone comes in to try to help somebody and they wound up actually screwing that person over and then maybe starting a feud,
Yeah,
right? So we could, there's a lot of different possibilities. Well, there's a lot of possibilities on any of these matches. I mean, we could go down 100 rabbit holes.
oh yeah,
I want to try to keep it, let's keep, like most realistic. I mean, who knows? It could be just a straightforward match and maybe Jay just takes it, right?
yeah.
It could
With
be one of those, and it could be turned into one of the classics. Like he takes the beating and he doesn't give up, and he, catches Gunther off, off guard or something, and gets him, and then wins it, right? I mean, it can happen, right? Yeet. Next match I see is Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. Um,
I'm going
It's,
Tiffy time.
oh,
She's stupid.
yeah, I was gonna go Tiffy. Trish, I believe I've been following like Trish and Tiffany have been kind of together. So we could see Trish Stratus with Tiffany Stratton at WrestleMania. Um, but Tiffany is getting a huge push, right? And they keep thrusting Charlotte Flair in. And I get it. Like I get it. She did a great, thing for a number of years for the business, but it's like you I think this might maybe Charlotte Flair's there to get Tiffany over again or over
Yeah,
at WrestleMania, right? I mean, I think it's going to be hands down. It's going to be a good match, but I think Tiffany's going to wind up being the victor and retain her title.
yeah. I like Charlotte. I do. Uh, I will always, I will always say, and I don't care who it is, if you get hurt, you should not lose your spot.
No,
Right. But
like I'm
I did have a problem with her, Charlotte coming back. I was happy to see her back, but her immediately winning the Royal Rumble. I'm like,
I miss big titty Charlotte. Um,
and she's slowly morphing into her
that
father.
was the weird thing. Like she made her epic return at Royal Rumble and won it, right? I mean, like you could have done it any other way. Like she comes back from injury, wins the Royal Rumble, and thrust it into WrestleMania that way. And it's like there was no build up. It was she returns, wins, and that I get like shock value, but this is the second time in like 3 years she's run the Women's Royal Rumble,
Yeah.
and it's like
And unfortunately for her, and I'll give her some credit that it's unfortunate for her. A lot of people say, and even part of me, in part of my mind, I'm like, it's because it's because she's Rick's daughter.
I think
You
they're
know?
trying to give her the respect of the Flair name, right? I mean,
Yeah.
and I can't blame them. I mean, for what Rick did, right? I mean, does he is he having an influence on it? Maybe I don't know.
And I wouldn't even say, and again, this is complete speculation. I am not saying there's any conspiracy here. But with Triple H being in the position he is, and with the love he has for Ric Flair, more than just about anybody, he loves Ric Flair. And then Charlotte comes back from injury, which I will agree 100% she should not lose her spot because she got hurt. And then all of a sudden she comes back and wins the Royal Rumble. You
Little
know, like it at least makes people, somebody who like me who does not like dwell on conspiracy theories, makes me question. And it's not fair to her, but it was too obvious. Somebody, Bailey or friggin' Bianca or whoever who were in there for so friggin' long, and all of a sudden Charlotte comes out and she went. You know,
um,
but
next match I'm looking at. I'm War Raiders versus the New Day. I think that's one of those matches. It's just kind of filling. It's for the World Tag Team Championship. But it's like one of those mid card matches.
yeah,
I mean, I'll be honest. I could care less who wins that one. The New Day turning on Big E. So will Big E screw the New Day over?
yeah. Instinctively, I want to say War Raiders keep it.
Right.
Um, but I don't think the new days heel turn isn't quite climaxed yet to the point where them losing or like you said, Big E coming out and screwing them in a little bit will help push them even further to the heel turn that cement their heel turn.
Right.
And and then again, it
Like
I
the only
I
way that
I like a heel New Day. Um, Kofi, it's a little awkward to see him as a heel. Xavier Woods, he was a heel in his career more than he was a babyface. Back in TNA, with Jay Lethal, for Lethal Consequences. So Xavier Woods is killing it. Kofi's trying to keep up.
And this is
That's
a
why
new,
I
yeah,
don't think they've done it.
this is a new realm for Kofi, right?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, like I said, I think War Raiders retain. Um, then I'm looking at L.A. Knight versus Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
The Jacob Fatu, if I remember, that's who they call the werewolf, right?
Yeah. He's the ugly one with the drip.
I gotta get. He's gonna be borderline. They're making him see like borderline unstoppable, right? And he got the new bloodline, who's gonna probably play him a card in there, right? So I wouldn't be shocked if Jacob Fatu becomes the new United States champion, and to give the new bloodline some sort of gold to hold on to.
Yeah. I like LA Knight. I'm a LA Knight fan.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um,
yeah.
but I
Was
could
he
also
Ezekiel? He wasn't Ezekiel, was he?
no. That
Okay.
was Elias.
Because I saw a thing, I'm like, man, that is fucking scary. Like how close and resemblant they are.
LA Knight was Max Dupree.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. The twin to Maxine.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ezekiel was Elias's twin brother.
Yeah. I mean,
Walking with
I can
Elias.
see it go either way, but I think I'm favoring more Jacob Fatu winning
But yeah,
that
with
match.
with the little feud, like mini feud they're having in Bloodline, how like especially Jacob's like, looking at Solo like, for you to tell us what to do, you lost. You're not in charge. Him winning would definitely put him in a different position.
Right.
And when they won the
Maybe.
tag titles, not last year, Solo made him give up his half of the tag titles. So I could definitely see he has more to benefit from winning,
Yep.
or that them having him win, than LA Knight. LA Knight's not going anywhere, So as
Yeah.
long, yeah, so
Yeah.
as long as they keep it competitive and good, and Jacob just barely squeaks it out and wins, LA Knight will not be hurt by this if he loses.
I gotta check up on Maverick real quick, just to peek in. Maverick, what are you doing? Next match I saw.
It's
What
Rey
was
Mysterio versus El Grande America. I mean, Chad Gable. I mean,
Chad,
El Grande
Chad
America.
Gable? Chad Gable. Let's just call it
Mr.
what it
America.
is. Chad Gable. They're doing this Captain America thing all.
Yeah, Mr. America.
Um, it's one of those matches, right? It's gonna a filler match. I'm gonna, let's give it to El Grande Americano. Great, the big American,
He's El Grande Loco.
El Grande Loco. Didn't want to spend too much time on that one. That was like,
Yeah,
ugh. And then you got Jade Cargill versus Naomi. And I understand you like cake, so if you want to take Naomi, I get it. But have you not seen Jade?
she, they both are absolutely, just from the guy perspective, they're both fucking stunning. Naomi, now to go down and into it more, Naomi is a lot more seasoned, a lot more talented. Jade's getting there, and coming to WWE, picking her up, and her coming here, WWE was the best thing for her, because they're polishing her up.
Right.
Um, Again, I could see this match going either way. Um, so either way, I wouldn't be surprised. I could see, since she's not on night one, I could see Bianca coming in, and I don't know, coming in and helping one person or the other,
Right.
but coming in to be like, "What the fuck are y'all doing? Please stop!" Yada yada yada. I could see Bianca getting involved somehow in that match.
I'm gonna
Um,
go with Jade. Um,
Yeah, again, this I have not much else to add to that, honestly. So night two, first match I brought up, I already saw, is obviously going to be the main event.
He did. Come on, Raz. It's cold out there, dude. You can't leave him out there. Alexa, play Come and Go.
The
Sorry, he left one of our dogs out there, and it's like we got snow on the ground again.
so
Um,
which
yeah,
will
night
probably be
two.
the main event: Cody versus Cena.
Cena.
Oh, you're going Cena?
I'm going Cena. Don't you want to talk? They're going to give him the 17th title, give him the record, and send him out, right? And then let him hold on to it until it's like SummerSlam, and then have him drop it, right? You got to give Cena the respect he deserves for what he did for the business. Give him the record. Cody Rhodes, great champion, but these long tenured championship runs are just freaking unbearable because it's easily predictable. It's like, oh, okay, he's gonna win, right? And you size them up like go to last year, Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is obviously the better athlete, and Cody Rhodes wins. Granted they wanted to end it right, and I get it. Like they gave Roman
I
some time off.
I will I to that I will say Roman might be a better physical athlete. Cody is a better wrestler.
Yeah, but
Roman
Roman's a
respectfully has like five
powerhouse.
moves.
Roman's a powerhouse, right? I mean,
So you kind of balance it out, the wrestler versus the powerhouse.
right. This
Technical
one
versus raw strength. You know what I
I'm
mean?
going. Yeah, I'm going Cena. Like remember Cena's got a technical side to him as well. So Cena can wrestle. Cena is a powerhouse. Um, and I think it's going to be a good match. But I say Cena's. I'm thinking Cena's going to win. They're going to give him the championship, send him off, winning the 17th title, and that's going to be that. Um, no, no. And the only thing I could see happening because Cena did take a heel turn is The Rock interfering.
Yeah, I definitely see Rock being out there, being in Cena's corner.
Now, I did also read that they did ask Austin to make an appearance, trying to get him to come to WrestleMania 41. So, knowing Rock is kind of like in Cena's corner, could we see Austin in Cody Rhodes' corner?
Just one more time.
Just have Rock take the stunner from Austin one more time, right?
Yeah.
And see that epic sell, the stunner. It's like,
It ends the show with The Rock hitting a stunner, Cena getting his arm raised, Rock getting stunned, and just go
and
up
then of
the air
course,
going,
then let Austin stun Cena because who are
or
you to
not.
tell? Who are you to tell Austin no?
Yeah. Now, I
Austin will
do,
st- Austin will stun anyone. He don't give a
yeah,
fuck.
it sends on mother.
Yeah.
The only thing that I will say that when Cena said, "When I win, I am going to walk away with the title." Like, so I'm like, could this be their way of introducing the next generation of world title?
Right.
You know what I mean? Um, he walks away. He refuses to defend it. He retires. Now we're going to have, whether going into Backlash or whatever the case may be, SummerSlam, they're going to have a tournament for the world title. Now, SummerSlam would probably be the best place for, one of the big shows.
Or do
Um,
they bring back like a King of the Ring type tourney?
yeah, something like that where they unveil the new world title, kind of, and the reason I thought about that is when Kevin Owens was coming out with the winged eagle, the big,
Yep.
the original, which was the longest tenured world title. I could see them using this as you give John his thank yous. He rides off into the sunset after a couple weeks. He officially retires with it, and now they're going to have to do a tournament of some sort. They unveil the new title,
Right.
and it'll give Cody a chance to win it back. You know what I mean? So it's like it wouldn't hurt him. Um, so I that's just my very, 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 very amateur way of thinking creative. That
Next match I see is Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair. I'm gonna go hands down Rhea. Um, for obvious reasons,
okay.
she's good. Well, her and Bianca are both powerhouses, right? I mean, so I think they're gonna toss Sky all around. Um, and I think Rhea's gonna come out victorious. Because Rhea. Uh, uh, no disrespect to the other two, but Rhea is just one of these rare generational women talents that is just you need her on the top,
Yeah,
right? And, and it's
her being at the top is the benefit for everybody.
yes, um, and not just for her. I mean, for her, but for women's wrestling, right? I mean, like, look, I mean, she's setting like the example. I mean, I get it. Io Sky, she won the championship, I believe, by screwing her over and like kind of being like that thievery type deal. But that'd be like the only way she comes out as champion is she, somehow gets both of them knocked out. But hands down, I'm going Rhea Ripley. I'm assuming you're probably going to go the same way.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm. My initial choice is always going to be Rhea. Um, Again, this is just complete speculation. The only way I could see, I can't. I won't say the only way, but if Bianca were to win, I could see her, like I said earlier, with the Naomi Jade match. If she were to come out and try and help during that match, one of them, Jade, would come out to help Bianca, or
right.
Naomi would come out to screw Bianca.
Right. Um,
But over the last couple of weeks, with the contract signing for the match, um, it was always Rhea and Bianca heads going butting heads, and then out of nowhere, boom! Io comes by, drop kicks him, scissor kicks him, flies off the top rope, and knocks them both out. They they seem to be keeping Io in the background until it's bam! All of a sudden, she knocks them both out. So I would not be surprised if Io retains because Rhea and Bianca are going at it. Naomi comes out to try and screw Bianca. Jade comes out to screw Bianca. They all get into it. And all of a sudden, there's Bianca or Rhea laying in the corner. And all of a sudden, you realize, where the hell's Io been? And then all of a sudden, she's jumping off the top rope, doing a friggin' tornado DDT, pins, and wins because she was just laying back, letting them beat each other up.
she,
You know what
she
I mean?
yeah, no, she jumps off the top rope. Rhea catches her and throws her across the stage.
And again, that's
No, that
all
was a
those
joke.
things
I
are.
mean, it's I if you're going for shock value, you got to they take out Io early, and then you kind of forget about her because you got these two powerhouses going at it in the ring. And then she kind of, like you said, sneaks up to the top rope. Like one gets knocked down by the other, and then she jumps off the top rope, hits like a tornado DDT or something, and then just right. It's like, holy crap, where did she come from again? Right?
Yeah,
You
exactly.
kind of yeah. Um, Next match, the women's tag team
Yeah,
championship. Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez versus Bailey and Lyra.
yeah,
Uh, I am torn. Because I do like Liv Morgan and I do like Bailey. Um, for obvious reasons.
I am also torn for my love of Raquel and my love for Bailey.
um, so I think you have to go more Liv Morgan on this, just because she's that, I guess, slick. It kind of um they defend and they retain, right? Um, and I that's what I really see. I mean, there's not a whole lot more to talk about. I mean, Bailey, can you see her? Can you see them one? Yes, you can. Um, but I think they're gonna maintain, they're gonna retain their championships, and then maybe in a couple weeks on on a SmackDown, um, that's when they drop them. Um,
And the only thing I will say, and kind of looking at the next match I have right on the list, um, which is the IC title, Braun versus Dom versus Penta versus Finn.
Braun.
Oh yeah, for the only one I could see possibly winning besides Braun is Finn. But with these two matches possibly back to back, I can see Liv and Raquel losing and then Braun winning, and Judgment Day is completely in shambles, and that's their way of breaking up Judgment Day.
Yep.
Again, that n- nothing against Liv. Kate gives me shit for liking Raquel too much. Dirty Dom, I think it's time he's on his own.
See how
And
he does
Finn,
on his own, and see if he can make a name for himself in the singles competitor.
yeah, Finn, he's done a lot to help. I'd say Dominic's Mysterio. Um, Same thing with Carlito. He's helped a lot. He hasn't obviously wrestling. He hasn't done a lot, but just having that veteran guy there is always a
Oh,
good thing.
it's the presence. It's like just having that veteran quarterback in the room,
Yeah,
right? And
exactly.
getting like, hey,
Um,
do this. Like, this is what you should do. This is, yeah, the advice, you know.
yeah, because that's cool.
Yeah.
Um, but so I could definitely see Braun retaining and then Bailey and Lyra winning, which Lyra doesn't need it since she's a women's champ. But I could see that being the fallout going into uh, uh, the next pay per view. Um, so yeah, I could see that happening as a way of, because Judgment Day has been going on for 2-3 years now.
Since
You know,
Edge, remember, Edge pretty much came back at that Royal Rumble and he started the Judgment Day.
yeah. And
After that. So, I mean, that was
then he
2020.
left. Finn
Yep.
took over. Damian Rhea came in. They left. Raquel came back, and now it's
No.
just kind of there.
Yep.
Um, and it might be getting a little late in its run. A little long in the tooth. So
Um, Next, you got the Sin City Street Fight, Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre, and I am going with Drew. I've always been a fan of Drew. Um, he's been more than a team player, doing what the business wants, getting people, to push. He won the title at WrestleMania last year and then got cashed in on, and held, he held it for 5 minutes. Like, give this man his due, god damn it. Like,
yeah,
he is a main eventer. He's one of the few people that beat Brock Lesnar, right? I mean, he's got that status. And it's a street fight, so I mean, it can go either way. But I'm going with Drew McIntyre, just being um as dangerous as he has been known for, right? He's a powerhouse. I mean, I would say Damian isn't, but Drew, I think, is the bigger powerhouse of the two. Um, it's going to be a hell of a match, but I see Drew McIntyre coming out on top.
yeah,
Because they both, Damian did get his push. Not saying he doesn't deserve another one, but I don't see Damian getting over on Drew.
yeah,
If he's going to get over, it's going to be the hellacious match that's going to get Damian over, but with Drew winning.
yeah. And you could theoretically get. I like both of them, and I agree. Drew deserves, yeah, to finish the story, so to speak.
You
But
got to give it to the guy. You got to get this guy back in the main event, back at holding a championship. He deserves it. Like,
yeah,
he held a title with no audience and carried WWE through COVID. And it's
yeah,
like, and then you're not going to do anything else with him. You bump him down to mid card. Did he bitch? Probably, but he didn't show it. He did. He did what a good soldier does: follows orders and executes. You got to give
And
him
that's kind of like also my argument with Finn. Like you have to break up Judgment Day to let Finn get back to where he was.
right because
But
remember he was the very first Universal Champion, and unfortunately had to relinquish the title due to injury.
yeah,
Um.
um, so both of these guys could come out looking great, regardless of who wins.
Yep.
But I do think Drew takes it.
Last match, I see AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. I'll go
AJ.
AJ.
Yeah.
Um, Logan Paul seems to only wrestle when he wants to, and it's only at big pay per views. He's the only reason why he's getting the push. Ah, that's a hell of a view.
Sorry about that, folks. Don't get too excited.
I think I saw your third nut.
Would it be the first time?
um, I think only Logan is getting the pay per view. What, Mav? It, you already listened to it, buddy. Is because of the Prime, right? I mean, Logan's getting endorsement deals for WWE, and it's like, hey, you're making us so much money, so we're just gonna let you wrestle when you want. He got thrusted in the main event for no reason, literally zero reason, and it's like I think I'm upset. I would think a lot of the veterans are upset too. Like, dude, you're the new guy, and you get thrusted into the main event, like going against Roman Reigns when he was champion
That's
at
right.
like Clash at the Castle, and it's like
Wanna go outside, baby? Come on,
um
let's go outside.
it's just AJ is gonna win that match, right? Let
Okay.
AJ win because AJ's been in the business. I think he's probably contemplating retirement as well.
Yeah, I
Um,
think he announced, I believe, on a Raw that this is going to be it for him. Come on, Ripley.
so you send him out, send the old dog out on a victory. Um, he's done a lot. Ring of Honor, or I believe it was TNA. He spent the majority of his time.
Yeah,
Um,
TNA ring. He did some stuff with the Ring of Honor. Uh, I, he started in WCW, little young baby Air Styles, and then uh, really made his name in TNA.
And he said, I know, like speaking off the cuff here, he said that the 6-sided ring, right? He said, everyone thought it was really cool, and he's like, until you take a bump in it. I guess the 6-sided ring was a lot stiffer than the traditional four square, um, or the squared ring. Not as much, give, if you will. So,
Spec.
he's done his fair share for the business, for the industry, I should say. Send him out.
Yeah, he deserves to have one last WrestleMania moment. Like you said, he's done a lot. He he's future Hall of Famer regardless of uh, company.
Yeah,
Um,
regardless. He's
Samoa Joe even put him on the Mount Rushmore of TNA. You know, um, so you know, I always liked AJ. So see him walking off, and too bad it's not like in a main event match, but
it's WrestleMania.
yeah,
Like, I mean, if you think about it, right? I understand it might not be main event, but if you're scheduled to wrestle at WrestleMania, all the matches should be main event statuses.
which
Especially how far WrestleMania's come. Like we had that discussion a few weeks ago about the top WrestleManias, right? And it's now we're at a point where you can give like WrestleMania 17. I always said is probably hands down probably the best WrestleMania. The card was stacked. Um, I know you might disagree with me on that, but I thought that was hands down the first big stage for WrestleMania. 60,000 fans. Um, it was one of the great. that I think started um, a lot of the, WrestleMania needs to have these matches. All of them need to have main event caliber talent, and to go with that. And it's just mommy. So now I get to hop in the truck and go to work, so we can talk more about other things too. Um,
But with that, WrestleMania being what it is now, um,
no, good joke
it's
of bullshit.
one thing I saw is that the Raw tag titles, Street Profits, excuse me, um, are not going to be on WrestleMania, which
Right.
I will say there is no reason that a title in any form, I don't care if it's the world title, the IC title, tag titles, or hell, the European title, should not be defended at WrestleMania.
No, I
Not
think that's a pay per view that needs to have all titles defended on, like regardless of what it is. No, all, and that's that.
yeah. You're always going to have filler matches. I mean, if you look
Oh,
back at all the WrestleManias, they're going to have filler matches. But the titles, there should not be a single title left off the WrestleMania pay per view title card. You know,
no, there shouldn't. Um, we're gonna slightly disconnect when I get away from Wi-Fi, but it kicks back in. So stay tuned, folks. It's gonna be a wild one. Um, man, I for side note, I fucking killed my arms at the gym today.
don't blame the gym. You were feverishly masturbating, and there is the Wi-Fi disconnect. And sure, like
And we're back. feverishly masturbating in the corner. At that time, I knew exactly what I needed to do.
son of a bitch owed me money.
It's okay. I don't need you, honey. I'm gonna beat my dick like it owe me money. um, you know, like you said, with there should be no singles titles left. Um, to go not to be featured on WrestleMania, especially how big WrestleMania is getting,
Yeah,
right? I mean, I understand doing the promos and you got to have the talking, but WrestleMania, let's include every single title. Let's have it defended. Hell, why not bring back a title? Surprise at WrestleMania. Oh, how about the Hardcore Championship? You know,
and looking back, let's say you brought up WrestleMania 17 or WrestleMania 16 or whatever, I could understand having or the European title get defended on Sunday Night Heat. Totally get it. It's not a main title. We have limited 2.5, 3 hours. It's only one night. We can't fit in the European title or the light heavyweight title. Let's do those on Sunday Night Heat. That's free for everybody. You know what I mean? But now in 2025, where I wouldn't say all people, but a lot of people have Peacock, excuse me, and it's 2 nights where you could go 4 hours.
and there's no like, I mean, there's no you can go 4 hours each night. You can go longer if you wanted. I mean, you
I
remember
don't
like
know.
what they said with Raw with Netflix, right? There is no certain amount of time. Raw could be a half an hour. Raw could be 4 hours. Now, granted, they haven't done any of that, but it's in the realm, right?
Yeah, and back in the day, for those young guys, young people that don't know about pay per view, like we did growing up. They were
Oh,
only they were only allotted a certain amount of scheduled time, 3 hours.
WrestleMania
Um,
was 4. I remember WrestleMania was 4. But I remember majority of pay per views were scheduled 3 hours, and as soon as they hit that time,
yeah, and prime example of what happens when you don't stick to your allotted time. Uh, I believe it was Halloween Havoc '97 got cut off before it was over because they went over.
and you
And WCW had to refund everybody that bought the pay per view.
and you would
So
think with a guy like Ted Turner in your corner would have some sort of sway with pay per view, just be like, hey, come on, it's me.
give us 10 minutes. But the oh, we lost Joe again. Um, but again, the beauty of Netflix now, uh, Peacock, there's no scheduling conflict. You don't have to watch WrestleMania if you're not a wrestling fan. So they could theoretically go 4 or 5 hours and not be a problem. And you're back.
I'm back.
All right, hold on, hold on. There we go.
I'm off Bluetooth, but I can still hear you. There we go.
Okay. So yeah, like I said, I don't know if you heard me, but the beauty of Peacock or Netflix, there is no real scheduling conflict that they have to worry about.
No, there isn't. And like I said, yeah, I mean, the beauty part about streaming, you know, if
You
you
don't have to be worried about time constraint. You don't have to necessarily worry about commercials. You don't have to worry about you know this or that. You could have one fluid storyline. If it takes an hour and a half, takes an hour and a half. You need to go 4 hours, goes 4 hours. But you don't have to worry about the constraints because if you look at some of the Raws on Netflix, one hour and 52 minutes. One is 2 hours and 12 minutes. One
right,
is like they have the freedom to tell the story.
you remember watching Raw, right? When it was 2 hours, 9 to 11. How many times JR goes, "We're out of time. We're not gonna know how this is gonna end," and then it just pans out like, now you gotta wait till next week.
Which added a certain level of hype to it. Like you had
Oh,
to wait to find out what the hell's going on. Like, oh my god, forces you to tune in next week. But at the same time, it's like that's the positive. But now the negative is you didn't get the finish.
now I think it's only going to be a matter of time before SmackDown hits that kind of market, right? I mean, not saying it's not there, but I think you know everyone in today's age should have Netflix, right? I mean, it's a no-brainer not to have Netflix. Um,
I mean, I know
yeah,
people that don't because they don't want to have to pay for it, um, or they can't afford it, or they're just like, I'm not paying for that. You know, so I get it, but at the same time, most people have it,
right.
and the people that didn't have it prior were looking for a reason, and Raw going to Netflix was that reason. So
I'm fortunate enough to have a TV service that acts like a street. It's a streaming service, but it's a collective of I get everything. Um, locals, all the news channels, all the movie channels, pay per views. I get Peacock. I get Tubi. I get I get world channels. I got Italy, Canada, France. Not that I watch them, but it's there. But and I pay $40 a month.
it's not bad considering what. Okay, you're paying for Netflix, you're paying for the Hulu, you're paying for Disney Plus, paying for Peacock.
Also,
That
All
that
that good stuff that's on like Hulu and on Disney Plus is on this app. I can find it, right? There's got TV shows on demand, there's movies on demand, and then you got live TV. Um, Most bang for your buck, to me, right? And that's how I watch Wrestlemania because during these kind of events, they'll have specials, and boom, Wrestlemania, right? A lot of people on those TV service are wrestling fans, are racing fans, or so they find the best stream of the event
well,
and they
kind of
stream it.
like Cody was
Kind of like what?
Cody, KODI, where
Yeah.
they would have like, oh, you type in WrestleMania, they'll have 7 streams and they'll give you the best one at the top.
Yep.
And
Yes, sir. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm excited for WrestleMania because it is Saturday and Sunday. Um, you can probably find me, um, hopefully watching them.
yeah,
'Cause
unfortunately, unfortunately, I had requested at least Saturday off because my brother-in-law Steven, he's having a watch party at his place at his house. But work was like, oh, it's Easter weekend, which I completely forgot it landed on Easter this year. Um, it was kind of like all hands on deck kind of thing. So
mm,
I'll watch the first like hour or two on my phone, and then I'm gonna go over to his place, finish watching it, and then Sunday I don't have to be in work till like 6:30, so I'll be able to watch like the first 2 hours at home. And so I'll grab some pizzas, some food, and then I have to finish it on my phone. Take it.
you know, I watched the WrestleMania on my phone.
I watch most of the pay-per-views or the uh, ELEs on my phone. I'm stuck at work. So, but this is another good episode, Joe. Thank you for coming on, and we'll have to do a wrap up next week after WrestleMania is done.
I think we could do like a reaction, like each match, um, for the podcast.
Yeah, reactions, wrap up. What we thought. Whether
You know,
I
it's
can't
called
imagine none of them being 10-star matches considering it's WrestleMania.
it's called me Pepper Brooks. I feel shocked.
And Pepper needs new shorts.
Right, you are, Cotton.
It's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
There's sad now. There's people born and old enough that never watched the movie Dodgeball.
There were people born after 9/11. There were people born after uh, nobody having landlines in their house. There's people born that don't know what a stick shift is. Craziness.
It is. Well, anyway, till next time.
Till next time.
Okay, peace
Same
out.
same Reggie time, same Reggie location.
Okay, peace out.
Peace out.